Yeah, good morning everyone. So in this session we are going to see emerging technologies. We are doing it in two parts. Here we are having first part of this. Last class we have done this defense related XYZ in different missile programs, different military exercises that is having, different military reforms that happened in recent past. All this we covered in the last class. So let's start with emerging technologies. The first one is, what is this? 5G. So it's have been into have some many of the cities are already having 5G. It's already in process. So you should have at least a basic clarity on what exactly 5G is. What is 5G? Give me a fair definition. Fifth generation telecommunication XYZ data technology. And what is the major shift that is different from 5G and 4G? Higher frequency bands will be used. It will be also using millimeter wave band technology. And what is this millimeter wave technology? It uses the radio band between 24 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz. Something that is using this band of frequencies that is called millimeter wave frequencies. 5G is having this kind of technology. This utilizes these bands. 4G was not having 4G. What range it was working on? 4G was working on sub 6 gigahertz ranges. 5G works on much higher frequencies. That is the major crux of 5G. What is other advantages? Ultra reliable low latency communications. Low latency means, what is latency? Time gap. Like if a information you ask in Google or anywhere, you say what it should happen. You send this, you need this information. This has to go to XYZ towers, XYZ satellites. Then it has to be processed in some cloud and all. Then this, after update of it, it should reach you. So what is the time gap for all this? This time gap is called latency. 5G is having much lesser latency. Why? Two reasons why. One is this processes inside this 5G having higher bandwidth, means it has much faster processing. Processing powers of these inside equipments are much faster. Second is 5G also promoted edge computing. What is edge computing? We think we have slide, we will talk at that time. What is other usage of 5G? Usage of multi-access edge computing. That is what we are using. That is one reason why latency is considerably less. Vehicle to everything V2X communications. What is V2X communications? This is an example of Internet of Things, IoT. What is Internet of Things? Like different equipments will communicate within itself. So 5G is a facilitator for implementing IoT and all. Network slicing. What is network slicing? This is another major advantage of 5G. Network slicing means basic fundamental idea you should know. Exact ranges, frequencies that we are not bothered about. Network slicing means you have this huge frequency range. This is the whole spectrum of 5G. Now in this spectrum you can allocate this much spectrum for one purpose, this much spectrum for other purpose, like this is for automation, this is for mobile calling, this is for any other purpose. Like that you can divide this spectrum into different slices and allocate it. So this flexibility gives more options for integrating IoT and all these applications. Go ahead. What are other benefits? So many benefits of technology is there. Like within a tower region, you can accommodate more number of mobile phones or more number of connection points, much higher, like into 100 than 4G. And you have much higher speeds. You have very low latency. You have deep coverage options. All these are very huge advantages. Tell me, what are some disadvantages of 5G? What are some challenges of 5G? We have discussed in this current affairs class also. What is the challenges of 5G? Exactly, higher the frequency. Higher frequency means what? Penetrating power become less. So these walls, all these systems can interfere more with 5G signals than with 4G signals. Even though more number of people 5G can connect with, the interference that walls and other infrastructure causes to 5G signals is considerably higher than 5G. What else? Range is much smaller. Due to this, there is a lot of other things can influence these 5G signals. So one tower, how much it can give? The range it covers is much less. This is for 5G. If it is a 4G tower, it might be covering much larger area. So what is the implication of this? If you are bringing 5G in cities, then it is not much issue because tower density in cities are much greater within this range. So many towers are already there. So implementing 5G in cities is much easier task. But if you want to get 5G in rural areas, you need considerable upgradation of this mobile communication infrastructure. This is the XYZ basics. Now to solve these all issues, we have something else that is called PiGI standards. What is PiGI standards? Standards means what? Frequency, we are only talking about frequency. Like this is the spectrum band of 5G, this is the spectrum band of 5G, 4G. But within this spectrum band, how exactly should be used? What is the best range to use, or what range should be allocated for radar purposes, for aeroplane purposes? So mobile communication means what range it should use. All these are defined statistics are called standards. Now what this 5GI standard does is, it is developed by India. That means it is a collaboration of IIT Madras, IIT Hyderabad, TSDI and Center of Excellence in Wireless Technology. All these institutes combinedly develop these 5GI standards. Now what it does is improving 5G coverage in rural areas. Exactly what we told. If you are using much higher frequencies for 5G implementation, the eventual impact will be you need much more number of towers. So 5G will take long number of time to reach the rural areas. So this standard, what it does, instead of not using global standard, India use frequency range of a much lower level frequency range. Even though it is 5G, India uses much lower level frequency ranges. So advantage of much using lower level frequency ranges means whatever disadvantages we talked last time, to some extent it can be tackled. This is much lower than global standard. It is still 36 gigahertz. Like starting is low, but till 36 gigahertz means it is in 5G range itself. Still giving 5G range itself, but considerably lower frequency ranges we are providing the services. Why we are doing this? This is like adaptation to demands of India. Even before waiting for upgradation, it is better to provide feasible 5G in the rural areas. That is much better option. With this in mind, we have this 5GI standards. To great extent, this solves some of the problems that we have discussed in last slide. Go ahead. Yeah. Now, what is edge computing? What is cloud computing? Completely centralized, like you have so many data. You Google search something, that search has to happen. That word has to be looked in all over the web and some result has to be put in your phone. So where this processing is happening, where this search processing is happening, that is happening in some cloud centers. Cloud centers are distributed throughout the world. It is even in space, some companies are installing this cloud center. So it is in these cloud centers, this data is being processed. Now what edge computing does is, see, if a city is there, like suppose this is Delhi, every data of the Delhi, if you are sending into cloud, so many traveling time, so many like traffic will be there throughout the system, whichever is the intermediate stages, all these throughout the ranges there will be huge number of traffic if you are sending everything into cloud. So instead of sending everything into cloud, what you does is you put some centers, processing centers within this demand region or within this data usage region, you put some center. So most of your applications, most of your processing will happen within the centers itself. Only that which cannot be done here will be sent into cloud-based applications. So this is like something you are developing some processing infrastructure at a decentralized approach to it. Cloud computing means it is highly centralized. At one XYZ point, you are trying to accumulate all these XYZ computing. Go ahead, these are like some differences. You can pause the video and go through it. These are exactly similar to what we have discussed right now. Go ahead. What is supercomputers? What is exact definition of supercomputers? Tell me. Don't read. It's the other name. Give me some definitions of supercomputers. Is there any number that defines a computer? Beyond this is called supercomputer. If less than that, that is a normal computer. FPS and all. Petaflops, it will say. The point is, there is no concrete definition of supercomputers. Maybe the supercomputer is 1990s, that is the computer we are using now, or 2000s, early 2000s. So it changes within every 10 years or with time. Mainly those computers which have much higher capacity than a normal computer, these kind of computers are called supercomputers. These are also called parallel compute. This uses parallel computing system. What does it mean? How you make a supercomputer? It is not that you make one chip system that has superpower. It is not like that. You arrange so many chips parallel and make them all to work on a single problem. That's how you make a supercomputer. Now these are some recent supercomputers that has been installed. Param, that is in NIT Tiruchirappalli. Direct liquid contact system is there. Now Param Ananta, that is at IIT Gandhinagar. Param Shivai, that is at IIT Varanasi or IIT BHU. Now Param Siddhi A is the India's most powerful supercomputer. It is having a speed of 6.5 petaflops. That is the speed of this computer. Now what else you have to learn is India's National Supercomputing Mission. What is this mission? What is the objective of this mission? We are trying to develop 70 high performance computing facilities or 70 supercomputers within this country we are trying to develop. And the best part of this scheme is also having an extension scheme, that is National Knowledge Network. What is this National Knowledge Network does? You install 70 supercomputers throughout the country. 70 means only 70 colleges students can use this, or 70 people who have access to this can use this. So to increase the access, you create something like National Knowledge Network. It is a national supercomputing grid. Through fiber optics and all, you connect all these 70 institutes to all other many universities in the country. Many other institutes. So that access to supercomputing power become much higher. Got it? These two are programs implemented jointly by Department of Science and Department of Electronics, DEITI. Ministry of Science and Ministry of Electronics, both these ministries are jointly implementing this program. It was started in 2015. 4,500 is the price of this. Whichever like supercomputers we see in last slide, like BHU, Shivai supercomputers, all these are installed under this scheme itself. Go ahead. Rest of the details you can read from here. Now what is quantum computing? Supercomputing means super high power computing. Now what is quantum computing? Yeah, quantum computing is, how we make a supercomputer is like normal chips, you keep so many normal chips in parallel and make them, all of them work together. So you get superpower supercomputer. But quantum computer is completely new technology. It works on principles of quantum mechanics. And what is the basic ideas? In normal computer, we have binary system. That is, bit is how you save the XYZ. Bit can have only two values. What is this? Either it can be 0 or it can be 1. All data in all computers, all processors are doing by bits, either being 1 or either being 0. Now in supercomputers, you have this fundamental particles as not bit, qubit, quantum bit. Now this quantum bit has a special characteristics. What is it? It has a characteristics of superposition. Superposition means it may not be 0 and 1 only. It can have so many intermediate stages. So number of values a qubit can have is theoretically infinite. It can take any position between 0 and 1, not like bit. So from a 2-value system, we are going into an infinite value system. So what happens in output? Recently, Google achieved in 2019, we have a slide for that also. Google achieved something called quantum supremacy. What is quantum supremacy? Tell me, give me a guess. What is quantum supremacy?
Even the fastest supercomputer cannot do particular thing. This can do it in very less time.
Yes, yes. We have quantum computer. If we develop a quantum computer that can do something that even the fastest supercomputer cannot do, or fastest supercomputer will take infinite time, that process if you make do by using some quantum computer, that XYZ is called quantum supremacy. Recently in 2019, Google achieved some quantum supremacy. Google was saying if a most powerful supercomputer is employed, it will take 10,000 years to solve a puzzle. Now its quantum computer done this in, can you guess how many, in what time it does? It did this, it solved this. Most powerful supercomputer, it will take 10,000 years. This much of a complex problem, in how much time this quantum computer solved? Give me a guess, random guess. It did in 200 seconds. So you can guess the huge amount of computing power difference that is going to be advanced by this implementing this technology. This ability to have different positions between 0 and 1. This is called superposition, principle of superposition. Go ahead. There is one more very interesting property regarding this quantum computing, that is quantum entanglement. What is quantum entanglement? That is application part. Theoretically, what is quantum entanglement? You have two particles. Suppose these are like photons like particles. This has a spin like this and this has a spin like this. Now, if these are quantum entangled photons, then suppose this is traveling in this direction and this is traveling in this direction. Photons mean it will be traveling in speed of light. Now, suppose 1 year back you come and look, both of these will be 2 light year apart. One will be 1 year light year either, one will be 1 light year either. Even they are this much apart, you change one of these photon or you change XYZ properties of one photon, it will instantly reflect in the other photon. This ability to have this entangled character, that is called quantum entanglement. Now this looks very fictitious. Even some two particles that are light years apart or there is no XYZ communication system between them, how they are interacting? Give me some ideas how they are interacting.
By the phenomena of canonical conjugate, you can locate, if you are disturbing the position, it will automatically hamper the...
There is one more concept. What is the nature of the particle, subatomic particle or photon waves which you are speaking about? What is this nature of this particle? Are they exactly particles or are they waves? They are technically both. So it is when we think these as particles, we have difficulty in understanding what? How changing in one get changed in the other. We have difficulty in understanding. But if we think these as waves, These are not particles, these are two waves which gone like this, one wave gone like this. So throughout this process there is a connection between them, and there may be flow of exchange of energy also. Now if a wave is going, you change one wave, then that can get reflected in the other wave. So it is the wave nature of XYZ that more give a explanation to quantum entanglement principles. Basic principle, you know, that much is only required for our purpose. Why and all, that is, there is so much controversies also. So this is for only curiosity I said this. Why part of this quantum entanglement? At least what is the principle that you should be very clear of. Go ahead. What kind of technology we use this? Quantum key distribution. What is it? It's like a quantum cryptography. What is quantum cryptography? What is cryptography means? क्या बोलता है? It will not get copied, like encryption, type of an advanced encryption technology. Now quantum cryptography means you are something codifying something using this quantum entanglement technology. Now if this like codification is done, any changes is done anywhere or anyone try to interpret your data signal XYZ, instantly at least you will know some data leak has happened. So this is considered as one of the most foolproof encryption technologies. And is there any country use this quantum key distribution and all? China has sent a message as a, not message, as a satellite in 2000, Messias or something is the name of this. China sent this satellite, this is a quantum satellite, this sent quantum distribution key, quantum encryption key, encrypted communication will be sent between the satellite and the ground station. So some developments in this regard has already happened. Go ahead. What is quantum supremacy? We already discussed. If this quantum computer is having much higher capacity than most powerful normal computer or supercomputer, that state of affair, that phenomenon we call it as quantum supremacy. This is the Google example which I gave. The same example is here. Now what is quantum decoherence? We have talked about so many quantum principles, like quantum superposition is there, quantum entanglement is there, but due to some disturbances, due to some interaction with other particles, these quantum properties can also go away. To entangle photons may become non-entangled also. That phenomenon is called quantum decoherence. If something quantum phenomenon, we design something, it can due to some noise, due to some disturbances, due to some unwanted signal processing, all this, it can happen that its quantum properties can get lost. This phenomenon is called quantum decoherence. Go ahead. We have a similar to National Supercomputing Mission, we have National Mission on Quantum Technology. Which budget it was released? It was announced. It was major announcement in budget 2020. 8,000 crore rupees has been allotted for this. Even we have seen for supercomputer, we allotted only 4,500 crore. So this is a very considerable amount to develop XYZ applications in quantum technology. Go ahead. What is artificial intelligence? You might be listening in so many areas right now. What is artificial intelligence? Simple definition, give me. Any other suggestion? Artificial branch of computer that studies machine intelligence. AI is a computer system that performs tasks that usually require human intelligence. And what is this human intelligence include? Decision making, all these processes. Decision making or learning new skills. Like if you look at computer and human, so many tasks are much easy for computer. Like you take a calculator itself, small calculator, you give 2 into 2 into 2 into big numbers, it will do it instantly. This is something computer can do much easier. But there are other areas which human intelligence can, this computing access things human cannot do that much fast. But there are other areas which human intelligence can do much faster than computer. Which are those areas? Learning new skills, pattern recognition. We don't need to have all the data. With just seeing some pattern, we can very quickly recognize what is this. Emotion recognition. Even though so many advancements are happening in this, emotion recognition. Off. It's already off. Okay. Yeah. So emotion recognition. So there are so many areas which human intelligence can do much faster than computer. Now advent of computers or computing powers or computing technologies into these areas also, that we call it as artificial intelligence. And what are the tools used for this? They are deep tech, known by different names. Deep tech, neural networks. All these are different names for algorithms that is used for learning this human intelligence aspects of this. Go ahead. What is ChatGPT? Most of you might have at least tried it. What is it? Language processing tool by which company? OpenAI. OpenAI released this. And what it does? Crores of data has been fed into it. Now, what data is fed? Only data that is before 2021 is available with this processing system. Now, depending on this all this data, it has kept a database. Now, whatever question you ask, it have capacity to adapt answers based on what is you are asking. This is something adapting human intelligence. Like earlier, what was the system? What is fed in the internet, that they will take and give you. They will not ability to rework that depending on your need. That was something you have to do. Now that part of human intelligence is also being carried by this ChatGPT and all. These all are like what kind of beta versions? All are not that much advanced versions. So you can use this for exams also, some kind of. But beware that there is mistake with this. There will be so many errors also. Now what is this BART? When ChatGPT becomes such a big hit, who is the major investor? Microsoft is investing too much into it. So Google has come up with Bada. What is the wrong they have done? Yes, during the presentation of this Google CEO itself, it given a wrong data. Now everyone all world has seen it. Google is 100 billion market capitalization by seeing this, saying that they hurriedly launch it without this giving enough thought to it. So that is about BART. Now what else? Google is also developing a 1000 language AI model. What does that mean? 1000 language AI model, wherever you see, that is a program of Google. It will translate, do everything work of these local languages. It will be like a project that is too much applicable in India, countries like India. We have more than 1000 languages. We can give regional languages in n number of regional languages. So having this capacity to translate, having this capacity to computers or mobile phones or the devices to interact in these local languages, this project is done by Google itself. Go ahead. What is deepfake? This ChatGPT and all, we are dealing with text. Deepfake means we are dealing with basically videos. You just give your photo, then they will make a video, they will make you say whatever you want. You type it, give, you say this, then your video will come, you will be saying this. And it becomes too difficult to, risk of this technology is all this authenticity system will go. You cannot identify whether the person is sitting or this AI bot is sitting. This kind of technology is deep fakes. Highly misused from technology. Now, what is some other deepfake busters are coming nowadays? Even for ChatGPT also, ChatGPT busters were there. Like if you get something written from a college assignment, something like from ChatGPT, upload it in other site, it will say whether it is written by human or whether it is written by ChatGPT. Similar like ChatGPT fake deepfake busters are coming. What deepfake busters does? This video you show them, it will say whether this is like fake news fact checker, whether it is original one or fake news one, like that of checking it will do. Go ahead. What is National AI Portal? Its name is India AI. Name was recently changed to India AI. What is it? Coordinating all the research activities or R&D and other activities related to AI. And who is the joint venture between Ministry of Electronics MeitY, National E-Governance Division, National Association of Software Services, NASCO. All these three people are joint venture is this India AI platform. Idea is read about this, people can read about this, coordinating the whole the R&D work and researches going on in this AI sector. That is the objective of this open AI, National AI Portal. Go ahead. What is GPay? This is quite very important for this exam right now. What is GPay? Tell me. Why this is so much important before this exam 23 exam? Two reasons. One, to ChatGPT and all, AI is getting everywhere. AI is becoming something talking in every sphere of life. One is that. Secondly, this GPay in 2023 will be chaired by India, like G20. Some organization is being chaired by India, then you should be aware of it before going to the exam. From that perspective, GPay is quite important. Now it was launched in 2020, very fresh organization, multi-stakeholder initiative. Together it will bring different, not just countries, but science experts, civil society, industry, all these experts it will bring together. And what is the objective of this? Bridge gap between theory and practice on AI. Basically, the establishing standards how AI should be used. This is completely a new technology that is coming into the sector. Some standards are not defined, there is scope for exploitation, misuse, or some people only having this technology or this kind of thing. To avoid this, to establishing some kind of standards, how AI should be used for benefit of all. That is the objective of this XYZ platform. Now the most important part is India to assume the chair of GPay this year in 2023. Another thing about GPay you should take in mind is where GPay secretariat is. That is in OECD. OECD is an organization of advanced countries mostly. This organization is much in ahead in humanizing AI and relating AI related policy debates. So Secretariat of GPay is within OECD. Strong synergies between these countries and objective of GPay will lead to better implementation, better XYZ policy aspects of this. This is, 29 member countries are there in GPay. India is a part of it. Which all major countries are part of it? Australia is there, France is there, Brazil is there, South Korea, Japan is there, Singapore, United States is there, UK is there. At least famous countries have a look. China is there or not? China is not there. So at least like keep whether major country, any major country is not there, taken out of it. In exam also, if an option is making, this country will be there, so you should at least be able to identify this. Remembering all these countries one by one, that is not the feasible solution. Go ahead. That's all about GPay. Now we have non-fungible tokens, NFTs. What are NFTs? They are crypto assets that cannot be replicated. What is this non-fungible means? I will ask you a question. Gold is, we have this forex reserve. We have forex reserve. Gold is a very good very component of it. US dollar is there, gold is there, other currency as DR is there, all this. Wherever there is investment, gold is a tool. Sovereign gold bond is there. Gold is a very good investment tool also. But diamond is having much higher preference, much higher value. Small amount of diamond will carry much higher worth than gold. Still, diamond is never used as in forex reserves or in any trade. Diamond is not coming into picture. Why? No. Conversions? Tell me, explain. Give me some fair answer. Currency convert means you can convert diamond also into currencies. That is not the point, but you are somewhere near. Give me some more guess. Idea is if you have 10 kg of gold, you can divide into 1 gram 10,000 pieces. Each 1 gram carry equal value. How much worth you are getting for 10 kg? If you sell it by 1 gram, still you get same value. This kind of thing is called fungible. Now, if you take a very big diamond, it may be worth huge crores. Now, if you go and cut it, the whole value is lost. You cannot have a standard unit for diamond like the standard unit like weight we are having for gold. So diamond is like non-fungible. If you cut it into pieces, its worth is completely lost. Now come to this. What is cryptocurrency? Tell me some example features of cryptocurrencies. It uses blockchain technology. Decentralized, whatever features of blockchain technology, it uses blockchain technology. What else? Crypto trading aspect is there. How advanced cryptographic tools will be employed for cryptographing all this. Now, if you take 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, all these Bitcoins will be similar. Properties of Bitcoins will be similar. Certificates, if you look, technology aspects, if you look, all Bitcoins may be similar. Now, if we use this same technology to not produce similar coins, but produce totally different coins, unique coins. You use all this blockchain technology also, advanced cryptographic technology also, whatever facilities you are availing here, use this for creating something, everything unique, every piece is unique. Now that kind of XYZ is what? Non-fungible tokens. They are all unique aspects. You cannot make another piece of it. Bitcoin, you can have small same pieces, same XYZ, it will be properties, it will be these, every tokens will be having its own unique characteristics, and people are creating tokens and selling this for crores of rupees, millions of dollars is being sent. Bitcoin is like currency. Bitcoin, if you're thinking, you think in terms of currency. You have US dollar in hand, you have some other currency in hand, that is Bitcoin. Base technology is same. It cannot be considered as non-fungible token. It is Bitcoin, you can divide 0.001 Bitcoin, you can buy, and all these facilities are available. Same technology is there in non-fungible token. Non-fungible token, you make something else like digital art. It may not be exactly this currency. It can take anything, it can be part of it. So it can be a piece of art, digital content, media, digital certificates, ownership, all this. All these aspects can be a part of non-fungible tokens. Now, how you make Bitcoins? How this blockchain Bitcoin is working or cryptocurrency is working? There is a very tough algorithm. Now, as you solve this algorithm, you will get what? Once you solve this algorithm, you will get Bitcoins. Now, this solving process is called mining. Similarly, the process of creating non-fungible tokens, it is called minting, M-I-N-T-I-N-G. Anything else regarding bitcoins or blockchain technology? For bitcoin, you are asking? There is some guy now, Nakoshimo, something like that. Exactly who is the guy, nobody knows. His nickname or outward name is Nakoshimo, like this. There is a story behind this. Why this bitcoin and all came into existence? Maybe I have discussed in some economy. Not to promote decentralization. It is all has some level of origin with this 2008 global financial crisis. What happened in 2008? Lehman Brothers bank collapsed. Now once this bank collapsed, what happens? Value of currency started hugely falling. Most of this currency fall like anything. Now who lost the money? Investors lost the money. And when this crisis situation happened, what government do? Like corona time, any crisis happen, what government do? They print more money. That will lead to inflation. That will again lose to further falling of value of money. So all this happened, investors got frustrated. They lost trust in this established currency system. So there should be a new currency system where there cannot be what? There is no mechanism government can come and print any number of money. That should be checked. With that objective, all these Bitcoin and other technologies, cryptocurrencies came into existence. Cryptocurrencies like in Bitcoin, if you look, the number of total Bitcoin possibly minted, that is constant. The highest Bitcoin, that will be so tough to mint that it is not may not be feasible by the supercomputers, even employing supercomputers. That much tough it will be. But still the number of Bitcoins that can be mined will be constant. So that is the objective of Bitcoin, then come into existence. Then it becomes other issues, so many valuation issues, all this goes on. Go ahead. Now what are different types of non-fungible tokens? All these are written here. Can be video, audio, tickets, collectible items. All this digital art, all this can be converted into NFTs. Some question comes like, which all these XYZ can be converted into NFTs means literally everything can be converted into NFTs. So only if you are very confident that this XYZ cannot be converted into NFTs, then you give no for it. Otherwise, most of the options can be converted into NFTs. Event tickets, customer engagements, in-game items. What is in-game items? You have some new dress for your character in the game. So buying that things that can also be made in the form of NFTs. Digital collectibles, credentialing, driving license, XYZ, your personal data, all this can be also royalties, all this can be converted into NFTs. Yeah, it is not required every NFTs for trade. That is only for commercial NFTs. NFTs can have also multiple purposes. Go ahead. Now this is quite interesting. Proof of work versus proof of stake. What is the difference between these two? How this blockchain we discussed right now, how it works. There is a decentralized ledger. What does it mean? Suppose there are 5 different arms of it. Every item will have one person. Now if a new transaction has to be carried out, what happens? Request will come here. It will be sent to all these persons. Now all these persons will check whether this is a legible request or this is a hacker or a thief or something like that. They will check. Now if more than 50% of these ledgers say that this is a legible request, then this XYZ request will be added to the ledger as the next node. The ledger will have node 1, 2, 3 like that. So once this request is okay processed, checking is happening with all the no participants, all the XYZ miners, all people who are having a Bitcoin, this will be sending this checking signal. Then if that is sent, then if it is processed, then it will add as a new node. Once a new node is added, then you cannot go and delete it. That's why if a thief stole from using Bitcoin, it becomes literally impossible to take it back. Now, what is the issue with this? There are few issues. One is every participant is considered as active participant. Every participant is considered as a miner. And if everyone is engaging in mining, what happened? Mining itself is taking huge amount of electricity. It is said that the total number of electricity that is used for mines is enough to power a country like New Zealand. So that much of power is even today are used for mines. And who have access to these kind of technologies? Only rich people can have access to these advanced mining technologies. Developed countries. Other one is how to hack even a blockchain technology system. How you can hack this? You don't need to get OK signal from all the endpoints. Only 51% you have to get this OK signal. So if you can hold 51% of the Bitcoin, then you are the king of this ledger. You can OK anything, any request. It is up to you. If you have 51% of total Bitcoins that is issued or total nodes that is issued under this ledger technology. Now all this we are talking, this is based on what? This is based on proof of work. What is proof of work? If a mining we discussed, mining means that puzzle has to be solved. Now that solving the computational requirement for that solving that puzzle, that is proof of work. Now once you solve that puzzle, you will get access to, once you solve the puzzle and send the request, then every node will say yes, this is a legitimate entry. First one doing that legitimate entry will get, first one entering that node will get a new Bitcoin. That's how new Bitcoin mining is happening. So what is the deciding factor? That is proof of work. Proof of work means you have mined it and sending the request. If you are sending the request without mining means you are a hacker, you will not get any permissions. Now what is proof of stake? This technology was established in 1990s, but it was used for first time, a real application came in Bitcoin. When was Bitcoin released or first time it came into existence? In 2009. At that time it was worthless technology, then it catch up in 2010s. Now this proof of stake came in 2011. So more recent technology, it was trying to address some of the issues with proof of work. What proof of stake does is, instead of making everyone miners, it will only give, if you hold this much of Bitcoin or this much of that cryptocurrency only, then only you qualify to be a miner. Getting? So it will be like if this is 100% of this Bitcoin, not everyone will be miner, only some big persons will be miners. If you are a small entity, you can club so many person of small entities, then you become a collect all this and become a miner out of this. That way you can this. And what is the advantage of doing this? Reduces the hacking risk. Like if something has to be hacked, 51% may not be like that much easy, because you have to get 51% of all this. And if a new ledger is coming, request will not be sent to everyone. Request will be sent to randomly selected out of these guys, big guys. So less requirement is there. Some disadvantages, and this is like mining become too difficult. It is said that economically also this is much clean, better technology regarding power consumption, regarding all this. This is proof of stake. This here, what is the criteria? percentage of Bitcoin you are having, depending on that you will be allocated stake, and then you have to process the request. And here if you process the request, you will get some fee also. You will be get some payment also. Your Bitcoin 1 was there, 1.1 ho jayega if you correctly done this. If you wrongly done this, you have to pay the penalties. That kind of system is there. It is trying to address some of the XYZ limitations of earlier place of work, proof of work system that we were having. From exam point of view, two things are important. One, proof of work, proof of stake. You hear this, you have to click this. This is related to Bitcoin technology. This is related to cryptocurrencies. If ABCD option, different things are given. Select which one is related to this. Second, this some level of conceptual clarity you keep in mind. If a statement question come, 1, 2, 3 statement, too much detailing, it is not feasible to go into this. But a broad concept you should be at least know. When this came, where it is being used, Bitcoin and all is based on proof of work. There are some not so famous coins which is based on proof of stake. So basic concept you know, rest micro details leave ahead. So that's it. Go ahead. I think we have done for today. So we've discussed so many big things like 5G, IoT and all this, AI, then Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, all this. So we'll have one more part for emerging technologies. There is some leftover 10-15 topics that we'll cover in the next class. That's all for now. Thank you so much.